Morning, everybody. It's Friday and a 3-day weekend. Thank God it's Friday. And as you can see, I have my friend Jana with me this morning to talk to us about what's going on in her world with the Good Vibe Tribe and other things I'm sure that she wants to share with us. I welcome all of you this morning. Grab your coffee or tea or whatever your pleasure, and let's talk a little bit of astrology, and then I'm going to turn it over to Miss Jana. So, Jana, this is going to be an interesting weekend.
I know. I'm already feeling it with this full moon coming up.
I'm sometimes a little hesitant to say interesting anymore because I always wonder, like, what do people think I mean by that? Technically,
well, and that's a good point because I think we can kind of go with the flow, or we can be paralyzed by fear. And
yes.
So if we can be objective to what is taking place versus reactive, then I think we can navigate energy a little bit better. So that's why I use the word interesting, is there could be some shakeups taking place, like we know.
Yeah. So when I say interesting, I usually mean because it's not going to be that kind of energy where I can specifically say, this is it, right? That there are going to be some ups and downs and there's going to be some weirdness. But today's a great day. Today's a wonderful day. The moon is in Libra all day. That makes it, Venus territory. It makes everything kind of happy-go-lucky, maybe a little bit frenetic as people may be packing up and getting ready to take off for the 3-day weekend, at least here in the States. I'm not sure if the whole of the world celebrates Memorial Day, but we do. And since we live here, that's what's important to us right now. And are you going away for the weekend?
No, I'm not. I'm staying here where it's beautiful beaches, and I live where everybody vacations. So they can actually camp on the beach here. And so the beach from my house, I can see where they camp, and it turns into a whole little city out there. It's just crazy. Yeah. Fireworks will be going off, and
wow.
And
a whole big party.
Oh, it is a big party. Yes.
Wow. I know that I always think we have the void of course moon. We talked about this yesterday, where the moon goes void of course at 2:04 p.m. And I thought that was kind of funny because a lot of businesses are closing down today at 2 o'clock. Even my husband's business closes down at 2. And then everybody goes home and gets ready to go, wherever they're going to go or do whatever they're going to do. And the moon is void, of course, until 6:39 West Coast time tomorrow morning, at which point then it will be back to normal. And by then the moon will move out of Libra and into Scorpio. And that's where the fun starts. It's always interesting to have Scorpio on a 3-day weekend, I think, or any weekend really, because Scorpio energy, it's sort of intense. It can be intensely passionate and intensely creative, but it can also be intensely kind of brooding and kind of intense, right? Moodiness wise.
Yeah.
So emotionally. So it's going to be, that's why, that's where the interesting comes in. Not sure how to really gauge it. If you're having a lot of fun, I think that means that you have a lot of fun. But watch out. Some people may go into moments where they are moody. Try to keep the mood light. There are a couple of moon transits that are happening this weekend that kind of complicate things a bit. Of course, if the moon is moving in to Scorpio, across from Scorpio is Taurus.
Yes.
And that's where our friend Uranus sits. So early in the transit on Saturday morning, we have the moon opposing Uranus, and that can bring surprises. So I'm thinking like people who are camping, right? Wake up tomorrow morning and you find out there's deer that have been in your food, spilling it throughout your campground, or, maybe you get up to make the coffee and you realize, dang it, I left the coffee at home. Just things like that may happen, surprises, things you didn't expect. But also be prepared for the ones that are a little maybe more difficult to handle. Just be calm, cool, and collected. I was just behind the scenes warning my daughter to make sure she kept her eye on all the kids this weekend as they're going to Eastern Washington near a river. And I wanted to make sure all the kids were good around water, right? Take their life jackets, understand the water's running really swiftly this time of year. It's really cold in the water this time of year over there. This is snow melt in the rivers, not just like water that's had time to warm up. So everybody out there, just watch some of the surprising things. Luckily, that moves off early in the day. Then we are left with the moon squaring Mars in Aquarius and sextiling Saturn in the sign of Capricorn and trining Venus. I think Venus is the one moderator of the whole weekend, right? She is also in a trine with Jupiter over the weekend. So that, I think, nicens everything up and makes people more apt to want to have fun and play. And I think overall the weekend is probably going to be a good one with just a few little bumps and scrapes maybe along the way. But that's why I do this, right? Because I want everybody to know what's going on or the potential for things that are going on before they happen. So, as I said to everybody, we have Jana with us this morning, and Jana has something new that she's doing. And you know what's funny, Jana? There is not a soul out there this morning. And I don't know what the heck is up. I don't know if there's a problem with Facebook or if there's a problem in Be Live or if everybody's
live. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't see anybody. The usual check-in, the people that usually check in and say, hey, good morning. You know, there's usually this long list of people. I'm not seeing them. So
they're on their way out of town, so they got to get ready to go, right?
I wonder, right? It's 11 o'clock ish on the East Coast, and some of the people that tune in are in the East Coast or even in the Central Time Zone. So maybe people have already left, and maybe they're going to just tune in later. Somebody popped in. There's Londa. Good morning, Londa. We were beginning to think that everybody had left, right? Did everybody go away this weekend and forget to tell me and Jana? I don't know.
We're the most important thing here, right?
Of course we are.
It's about us.
Yes, and it is about us. But I know a lot of people will tune in later or at least listen to the recording. So,
of course.
Excuse me as I choke. Yeah. You know what I started doing, and this may be very helpful to a lot of people to know, is as soon as we're done with the broadcast now, I take it and I turn it from a movie into an MP3. And then I take that MP3 and I load it up to Blog Talk, and then it becomes a podcast. And so then it's downloadable on iTunes and Stitcher and all those kind of things. So, you know, if you know that you're going to be away, don't fret, because all you have to do is just go to your iPod and go to iTunes, and download the issue that you lost or that you missed.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good morning, Roseanne. Good to see you out there. She's my Scorpio friend who is going to be interested to know that the moon is in Scorpio all weekend. Yay for you, Roseanne. Londa, I'm so sorry. Been up all night to help mother-in-law to transition.
Oh,
I'm sorry to hear that, sweetheart. I hope it was a smooth transition or that everybody is doing okay. Our hearts and souls are with you. If there's anybody that should be there at her passing, it is you, Londa, right? You are so loving and so generous and so spiritually sweet that you, I'm sure, gave her a wonderful send-off. So, but no, our hearts are with you. In the meantime, Jana has been working on this interesting project, and I have got to know, Jana, was this something that you've been working on in the background for like a year or so? No?
You know how life is just, it's actually a thought that I had 6 years ago. In my mind, I saw a website where there were multiple types of energy work coming together, sort of like an online holistic center.
Yeah.
And I wanted this to be a collaborative effort where, you know, I'm working with other healers and energy teachers of some capacity. And I didn't know what platform it was supposed to be in. And so I started researching that when our essential oil group was creating, we have oil camps where people learn about how to use essential oils. And it's kind of a fun, engaging way. And we wanted a non-Facebook version because we have a lot of people that are not on Facebook. So once we found the platform for that, I started playing with that platform for this idea that I had. And then everything just, I felt like I was in the zone, like just in the eye of the storm, and everything was just coming together. And I tested out a couple of different types of platforms, and I ended up with a platform called teachable.com. And I just started throwing this together. So the other interesting thing is I have been looking for my true brand for a long, long time. I do manifesting. I teach about manifesting, but I really teach about how do you raise your vibe so you actually can manifest something, right? And so I was talking with a girlfriend. It is. It's all about frequency. And that's what I do is I help people shift frequency. And I've been an energy worker for over 20 years. I do DNA activation. I do Akashic record stuff, chakra balancing, just a ton of different stuff. So, I wanted a place where when I am channeling information, I would get information and I think, oh, that'd be great. But it's sort of like, well, I don't want to create a whole program around that. So what am I going to do with this? So I see Good Vibe Energy Tribe as a place where I can throw all of this together and it be cohesive in some capacity without being, oh, I've got to create this 7-step program, right? It's like, maybe each month I have 1 step to it. So it doesn't force me to do it all at once. I do it as I receive the information. So the whole Good Vibe thing kind of came up because Jana Groscot is not the easiest name to remember. And I used it on janagroscot.com, right? Like if I told somebody, oh, my website is janagroscot.com, they'd be like, how do you spell that? So I was talking with a friend and I said, I want something that has Jana in it, but I couldn't get jana.com. And so we were just playing with different words and, it came down to Good Vibe Jana was the first website. And I already had Good Vibe Oil Tribe. And so I launched into this whole thing of anything related to Good Vibe. I bought 22 domain names that weekend that related to Good Vibe. Yeah, because I wanted all of it. This is my brand. This is what I do. I have Good Vibe coaching, Good Vibe retreats, Good Vibe money, Good Vibe wealth, just all of these different Good Vibe things because
what a great idea.
It embraces who I am and what I do. So I'm changing the name of my Transform Your Money story to Good Vibe Money. And that will be in the school also. So the school basically is, it's a monthly membership. And for $29 each week, I upload new videos. There are audio files. There is a live conference call, masterclass once a month. And this way people can kind of pick and choose what they want to jump into. So they can go back to previous months. And as long as they're a member, they can access this information. So as I mentioned, this is a collaboration. So I had a gal, Melinda, did my full moon report for next week and brought in mantras and oils and different things for that. I have another gal doing mindfulness. So it's really a lot of amazing tools and people collaborating in this online holistic center to support people with their growth and evolution.
And it's being revealed 1 step at a time. And I love that. So it's not like throw it all out there and overwhelm people.
It's true. And I find that even in doing some of my previous courses that, for the first week, people are gung-ho. Mm-hmm. And then life gets in the way and we all get busy. And so I needed to dial it back and say, okay, well, I don't want to do it like this because I feel like people are always playing catch up. So if I'm only posting something once a week, for example, the video, I did a webinar and an audio for the Soul Star Chakra last week. Mm-hmm. So the webinar is probably 5 minutes long. And then the meditation is closer to 20, to 25 minutes long. So, it's really sizable chunks of information that, you're on your phone, you're traveling somewhere and you're like, oh yeah, I've got 10 minutes. I can watch this or listen to this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it needs to be fit into our schedules because we have busy lives and having a program that's, an hour long or something you have to spend 40 to 50 minutes a day on it's overwhelming and we fall behind and then we start beating ourselves up because we committed to doing this program and paid the money or whatever, and then we're not doing it, right? So I wanted it to be, functional and supportive and relatable to, people's time frame.
Yeah. It just makes me feel good, the whole name and everything about it. And it's funny because I've been doing that same thing in behind the scenes with Teachable. But I dawdled with it. I'm dawdling with it because I hadn't gotten to you with that aha that you got, right? About, oh, this is exactly it. I haven't gotten that yet. But in the meantime, I'm paying $99 a month for Teachable.
Yeah, it was pretty spectacular. I thought I was going to launch it with the Aries new moon was my goal, new year, new you type thing. And it just wasn't quite there. And I did make it by the time we hit the Scorpio full moon. But I worked 3 15-hour days in the studio, nonstop, did not leave my house.
Oh.
But it was so funny because it was so effortless. I didn't even realize it till Tuesday when I had to go somewhere. And it's like, I have not driven my car for 3 days.
Isn't that amazing when that happens, right? It's like, it's just channeling, it's just coming and it exactly that. You just, time flies. And that's kind of how you know you're doing the right thing, right? When that you're on task, on target, or on passion, because the time is just flying. So if people listening today wanted to get some information on that, I'm going to put up a website or a place where they can go. What would they do?
They can go to goodvibeenergy.com.
So let me get this out of the way. So I better put the www there, www.goodvibeenergy.com. There you go, people.
And they can join the campus for free. Teachable how to join whatever their, the platform is.
Yeah.
But to actually get into the juicy information, they want to click on the all access membership. So that's where you'll see a whole bunch of different, all the different months are set up there, and they're just sort of placeholders for what's coming up. May, I did do some stuff in April. So April and May, there is some stuff. And then there's some general tools like a nighttime bedtime ritual and meditation, and setting your morning with intention, and acting as if. So there's general tools that you can key into also when you're in one of those moments where it's like, okay, I need something. And so that will help people in, staying active and really in tune and have intention with their vibe.
Wow. And so are you saying there's also free material there for people if they want to get a sample of what you do and of what they can get? Or is it all just by...
I haven't gotten that far. I know, it's sort of like I got this stuff live, but I haven't. I'll probably post some stuff in the next couple of weeks, some kind of samples.
Nice. Very good. I know I watched your opening video and it was very well done. Obviously, you know what you're doing and are very excited about what you're doing.
Can you tell?
Collaboration. Yes, I can tell. She's like, you can just see the energy.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's cool though. It's nice I've known what I've done for a long time, but it wasn't like I didn't feel like I had a brand. And when setting this up, I was like, oh, that's my brand. Okay, I get it now. So
yeah, I love it. And did you do any of the branding? How there's a lot of women out there that are doing like branding workshops and things like that, or did this just organically come to you?
Just organically came to me. A part of that piece is I'm also setting up a whole new coaching program. So I'll start physically coaching with people in July, and there'll be 4, 6, and 12-month increments. And my passion is really obviously in helping people raise the vibe, but I also have over 30 years of business experience. So I'm a retired tax accountant. I've been a financial analyst, a strategic analyst. And my passion is helping holistic healers and heart-centered entrepreneurs learn how to make more money from their business. So, this is really getting them to a higher level of attracting more money to them so they can serve more people, right? So this last year, my goal was to have $1 million in sales, and I hit that. And so my goal now is to teach other women how to hit that $1 million mark, if that's their goal. But if not, then I help them focus on, branding their business, as well as, who their target audience is, supporting them in creating strategic plans and understanding business, because with all my business development skills, a lot of people don't, it's like, I'm good at what I do. I'm good at my craft, right? But I'm not necessarily good at business. And I've been fortunate because I've been in both.
I'm there with you. That's exactly it, right? It's that it's just not my thing, right? I mean, it's hard as a single entrepreneur, whether you're a woman or a man, it doesn't really matter. But, there's so much to do and to think about. And you can't be like 100% proficient in all of it. If you are, yay. But
yeah, it is hard. And up front, you do have to do it all, right? You're sort of the jack of or Jane of all trades. And the interesting thing is I coach people on their top 5 strengths so that we are really focused on helping people live in their genius zone. Because when you're in that place, that perfectly describes where I was when I was creating this program. It was so effortless. Everything came together. As soon as I needed ideas and inspiration, it's like, boom, they were there. And even though I was the one doing all of the production, I didn't even notice it. And when you're in that effortless zone, it's so exhilarating. It's so exciting.
I know. I've been there. It's sometimes a hard place to get to. But when you're there, you're there because you stop later and you go, wow, that was so easy. And so much time had gone by and you didn't even stop to go pee.
I know.
Right?
It's crazy.
It's just all there. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. And you said it's monthly. So is it weekly you put out new material or monthly you're putting out new material?
So there's 2 parts to it. There is a live masterclass it's typically the first Monday of each month. There are a couple months that I have some scheduling conflicts and holidays and stuff, but it's typically the first Monday of each month just to set our intention for the month. And obviously we do that with the new moons and throughout our days and weeks and everything. And then the rest of the month, there are different webinars and videos that are uploaded. So there's ongoing new information every single week that you can tap into.
Nice. Do you do like a theme around the month so that everything that you're doing is about this theme, or does it just come to you that, oh yeah, we're going to talk about this? Or
it's sort of, at this point, it sort of has just come to me.
Just inspiration.
It's very inspirational. That's one thing that I wanted, is because I do channel a lot of information. It's not always linear. Like I started with the soul star chakra, and there'll be a whole section on chakra balancing. But I thought, wow, we're starting with the soul star. That's kind of interesting, because normally you'd go through the 7 and then go back to soul star and then go to the higher realms. And I just kept sensing, no, we need to get grounded. We need to do this with, the sun's in Taurus. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to question that. There's obviously a reason that's coming through in the moment. This summer, we're actually going to do a 7-week relationship, sort of an online book club with the book Calling in the One. And so that will be really, I know that was just an inspiration. I've been recently told that I was supposed to start dating again. And so I'm like, all right, well, if I'm going to date, then there's other people out there that want relationships.
Then you women are going to join me in this.
Yeah, exactly. And, that's kind of how I roll anyway. It's like when I'm learning something, I do better if I'm teaching it at the same time. So
right, because you're teaching yourself, right? There's nobody else out there.
If I'm just going to read the book, I'm going to be like falling asleep.
Oh my gosh. What's funny is that this is the process that you're talking about is something similar that happens to me, because some mornings I'm thinking, what am I going to talk about? Because I'm on 5 days a week.
Right.
So I'll be doing my hair or putting on my makeup and something will happen or something will come to me. And then it just inspires me to talk about that for that day. And it seems really effortless, right? Then I just sit down and I'm, making my notes and everything just is seamless.
Oh, yeah.
Other days, though, it's like pulling teeth. Like, what am I going to do? And
please ask questions. Having people ask questions. Please ask questions, right?
Ask me questions today. But usually it's fine. I mean, once you get to talking, something usually occurs. Sometimes it's around a theme. This week we were, using a theme. And Some weeks it's not like that at all. But I was thinking for you with this, your book club, this is a great summer. We started a theme a couple of weeks ago called Summer of Retrogrades, the Summer of Retrogrades, because there were, at one point, there's going to be 7 planets, if you count Chiron, that are retrograde. And that gives us all access to some real internal changes and things that we need to do on the inner planes. So,
Yes.
right, a book opens up that doorway to something to shift on the inside. And even though, it's an outer group that you may be working with, it is very clearly people changing their dynamic, transforming from inside to the outer world. So,
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And as far as going back to your question about themes, there are always themes. I'm just not always aware of them until I start working on it. And then I go, oh, that's why it's taking place. So as soon as you were talking about that, I said, oh, in my head, thinking, oh, that's why I'm supposed to start this in June is in Gemini, right?
Yeah.
The Gemini energy, communicating a new message from a new perspective, utilizing law of attraction to really attract the relationships that we want. And this isn't necessarily just for new relationships. Sometimes there's an up-leveling that needs to take place in our current relationships. So this will be open to, anyone who's interested in a different dynamic around relationships.
Right. Deepening their current relationships, attracting the correct relationship for them, kind of thing. Nice.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you, Jana. I mean, you knew this was coming, right? You were excited last summer. We did a reading and you were excited. You just felt it building. I
have for a long time. And it just felt like, I think you kind of get to that point where everything's kind of building up and you're wondering, am I really on the right track? And it was like the dam broke, it's like everything, all the ideas, inspiration, everything was getting backed up and kind of holed up in this place. And then all of a sudden it was like the gates opened and let's get this out there.
I love it. I'm waiting for that to happen for me as well. For the dam to break. It's all good, right? Everything that we do leads us to our purpose and the full expression of it. And sometimes it isn't what we expect. And that's kind of the fun of life in general. It's that if you stay open, then it can be quite surprising what it leads you to. And I think that's true here in your case.
Yes, it is true because I never imagined that this is what it would look like.
Yeah.
And it's opening me up to do corporate retreats and speaking at women in business events and, just helping people that may not necessarily have energy work done, but I'm integrating energy work and focusing on strengths to really enhance anybody because we become more productive when we focus on our strengths. In fact, what I've seen with my current coaching clients is when they focus on their strengths, they're no longer thinking about all the things that they're not good at, right? And I think that's really prevalent as women to think, oh, well, I should be doing blah, blah, blah because so-and-so is doing that. And yet that's not your strength. So why are you wasting your time and spinning your wheels on something that is counterproductive when you could focus on these 5 top elements and become more successful? So it's fascinating.
It is. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Jana, and telling us all about this. We've got a full moon coming up, right? I know it because it's getting lighter and lighter at night. And the moon yesterday, did you see it? It was in the day you could see the moon against the bright blue sky. It was so beautiful.
It was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this full moon. We have a water trine and a fire trine taking place.
So, the water trine we've been watching. To me, that's the beautiful energy that we get to have as the kind of the reward for going through the hell we've been through over the last few weeks, months even, of crazy energy. So, in fact, I was noticing in the mornings, the charts, the chart used to be very bucket shaped, but if you look at the charts now, the planets are sort of spreading out. And that's kind of a good thing, right? Like spread the love around the chart, not keep it so focused tightly into some, one area. But we've shifted out of fire into today, water. but primarily earth and air. And so that makes the feel of everything different, where we've been under the gun with fire for months. So change in the energy, a change in the dynamics out there. I mean,
yes, definitely. Yeah, it'll make for a good weekend to, have that calmer energy and let us relax a little bit, recharge our batteries.
Relax, recharge your batteries, have some fun, do things you wouldn't normally do, engage your passions. Moon and Scorpio, engage your passions, whatever it is you're passionate about. If it's hiking, if it's just relaxing, if it's swimming, whatever, just engage your passion. Have a great weekend. I am contemplating being on Monday morning. I have no plans to go anywhere, so I might as well be on, right? So I hope you'll join me Monday morning for the weekly outlook. Jana, bless you for all the work you're doing out there, and thank you for joining me this morning, and I hope to have you again. Again, it was called the Good Vibe.
GoodVibeEnergy.com. Yeah, it's Good Vibe Energy Tribe, but you can get to it from GoodVibeEnergy.com.
You know, I should have done this in the three-way thing. I could have brought the site up.
Oh, well.
Good Vibe Energy. I'm just putting it up again for people.com. There we go.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you inviting me here and sharing our morning. Welcome.
Yes, it's always fun. So thank you again. Have a great weekend yourself. Maybe you'll be inspired to put out some other great product. And for all of you, take care. Have a blessed weekend. I will see you Monday morning. And much love to all of you. Bye for now. Bye, Jana.